Today we're going to work on the section 4.7, which is to graph linear functions. We will begin with function notation. Function notation is very similar to slope-intercept notation. Notice on the right-hand side you have mx plus b, but on the left-hand side there's an f with an x in parentheses. That f with x in parentheses is just substituted in for the y. Those two really mean the same thing. The y is the same thing as that f with the x in parentheses. We read it as f of x. It means the value of the function when x equals whatever number we're putting in for x. It is not f times the x. That is not what that means. It means the value of the function. That f stands for function. And the f of x is the same thing as y. We'll work through it in this section. We ask for the value of the function. F of x equals 2x plus 12 when x equals a negative 8. Well, we're telling you what x is, so we're going to substitute the negative 8 in for x in every place that we see it. So we're going to start out with f of negative 8 equals 2 times the negative 8 plus 12. What we're saying is that the x is equal to negative 8, and we want to find out what the value of the function is for this. In other words, we want to know what y is. So we're going to do the math. F of negative 8 equals negative 16 plus 12. F of negative 8 equals a negative 4. This is the same thing as y is equal to a negative 4. When we put a negative 8 in for x, we get a negative 4 out for the value of our function. In computer programming, we would know exactly what value we're getting in for the answer when we have x equals a negative 8. We can easily do that in computer programming. That's part of the reason for function notation. Let's look at another one, very similar. We have what is the value of the function when f of x equals 3x minus 15, and we have x equal to a negative 3. Again, substitute the negative 3 in everywhere you see an x. So you have f of negative 3 equals 3 times the negative 3 minus 15. That's f of negative 3 equals negative 9 minus 15. And then f of negative 3 equals a negative 24. So when x equals a negative 3, the value of the function is a negative 24. When x equals a negative 3, y is a negative 24. Evaluate the function h of x equals negative 7x when x equals 5. This is no different than when we had f of x before. They like to use lots of different variables for the function name. So you could have h of x, g of x, k of x. They use several different letters. So don't let it fool you when there's a different letter in front there. Just substitute your 5 in for your x in each place. You have h of 5 equals a negative 7 times 5, and h of 5 equals a negative 35. So the value of the function when x equals 5 is a negative 35. Let's do a function where we're given 3 different x's. Well, we start out by putting the negative 2 into our function for x. So we'll have f of negative 2 equals negative 3 times negative 2 plus 5. Do your order of operations so that you have f of negative 2 equals 6 plus 5, and then f of negative 2 equals 11. You have one answer done so far. Now you're going to substitute 0 in for x. So f of 0 equals negative 3 times 0 plus 5, which we know will simplify on the right-hand side to just 5. So I have f of 0 equals 5. So when I put in 0 for x, I get a 5 out for the value of the function. Now we put in the 3 for x. Notice we have negative 3 times 3 plus 5 on the right, and we put f of 3 on the left-hand side. Simplify, so that you have f of 3 equals negative 9 plus 5, and f of 3 equals negative 4. You have 3 different answers for this problem. Because they gave you 3 x's, you had to find the value of the function 3 times. When I give you a problem like this on the test, you're going to have to come up with each one of those answers. And please notice the notation so that I know which x each value of the function is referring to. The first one, I know that negative 2 and 11 go together. Then I know 0 and 5 go together. The 3 and the negative 4 go together. Notice the notation, please. Let's find an x value. We're going to be given a function such as f of x equals negative 2x plus 4, but we have to find what x is it when the f of x equals 16. What they're really telling you is what y is equal to. They're saying y is equal to 16. Find out what the x was in order to come up with that 16. So we're going to start out by putting the 16 in where f of x would have been, equal to the negative 2x plus 4. So what we're going to do is really solve for x. Subtract 4 on both sides, you get 12 equals a negative 2x. Then divide by negative 2 on both sides, and you find out x is a negative 6. And that's what they want you to write. Find the x value, x equals a negative 6. So when the y is 16, the x is a negative 6. Let's try one more of these where we have f of x equals 6. And you can see I put 6 in for the f of x equals 2x minus 10. And then we'll have 16 equals 2x when you add 10 to both sides and divide by 2 on both sides, you find out x equals 8. We found the value of x when the f of x equals 6, or in other words, when y equals 6. We're going to graph g of x equals x plus 5. Notice that we have that g instead of an f. No big deal. It's just another name for the function. We're going to graph just like when we graph y equals mx plus b. We're going to plot the y-intercept. We're going to use the slope to find another coordinate, and then we're going to draw a line through those points. So when we graph g of x equals x plus 5, our y-intercept is 5. So plot that on the y-axis. Our slope is the number, the coefficient that's in front of the x, and that's a 1. So we're going to go up 1 and to the right 1. Both have to be positive because it's a positive slope. And I'm also going to go down 1 and to the left 1. So both could be negative so that I still get a positive slope. And I will draw my line through those points. I can go either direction in order to come up with my slope. Either both have to be positive or both have to be negative when you have a positive slope. Let's graph g of x equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. Again, our y-intercept is going to be 5. Our slope is a negative 2/3. And so when you're doing a negative slope, remember that one of the two directions has to be negative. So we can either go up and to the left, so we're going up 2 and to the left 3, or we can go down and to the right, so 2 down and 3 to the right, and then draw a line through those points. The negative slope has to have one of the two numbers be a negative direction. In your homework and in class, we will not be comparing graphs. So if you see that in the directions, you can ignore comparing graphs in regards to homework and also the work that we've done in class. Thank you.